Hey there, and welcome back to the Engraving Workshop. I'm Rick, and in today's video we're going to be building a shop organization project. We're going to be taking all these clamps that have basically been sitting underneath my miter saw station ever since our shop renovation project, and we're going to take and build a French cleat wall system like this. Parlez-vous français? Comment allez-vous? Oui? No? Doesn't matter. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to have to do is cross cut some 3/4 inch plywood down to 6 to 8 inches. I'm using a DIY track saw guide that I made a couple weeks ago, and I'll leave a link up here to how you can build it. Next, here at the table saw, I'm going to make an 8-inch rip, and this 8-inch piece is going to be for the French cleat. Then I'm going to move my table saw fence over to 12 inches, and I'm going to make 3 rips at 12 inches. And this will be the material that we use to make the actual clamp brackets. Now I'm going to take my table saw blade and move it over to a 45-degree angle, and then we're going to take that 8-inch piece and just rip that down the middle, which will create our French cleat. Now we're going to move over to the miter saw, and we're going to set up a stop at 15 3/8 inches, and then we're going to take our 12-inch pieces and rip those down to 15 3/8 inch. You should be able to get a total of 12 squares out of this, and then we're going to make 2 clamp brackets out of each square. So that should give you a total of 12 clamp brackets total once we assemble them. Since I'm going to cut these over at the bandsaw, I'm going to go ahead and take 6 of the squares and line them up, and then just put some painter's tape around them just to keep them aligned. And then I'm going to take and mark out the cuts that I'm going to need to make over at the bandsaw. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring over 3 inches from the top right hand side, and then 3 inches from the bottom left hand side. I'm making a mark, and then I'm going to connect a diagonal to those 2 marks. So you should be able to get 2 brackets out of 1 square, but the 2 brackets will end up making 1 clamp bracket. So you'll see another diagonal that splits the boards directly in 2. That was just a mistake on my part, and I'm just going to go back and just scribble out that line to make sure that I don't cut that line on the bandsaw. Next, I'm going to measure over 10 inches from the top left, and then I'll measure over 10 inches from the bottom right. And at those marks, I'll just take a 90-degree square and measure up to the diagonal, and then that little right triangle will just be waste once we make those cuts. You should end up with a bracket that has 10 inches on one leg and 12 inches on the other leg. And the 12-inch leg will be the top of the bracket, and the 10-inch leg will be the back side of the bracket once we get them assembled and put together. So now here at the bandsaw, the only thing we're going to do is cut the diagonal with the bandsaw. Once we get this diagonal cut, then we're going to take everything back over to the miter saw and clean up the ends of the brackets. So this is the 10-inch leg that I had mentioned earlier. It runs to that 90-degree line. And so we're just going to cut that line off here at the miter saw and do that for all the brackets. So here's a pro tip for you. Right now you should have all your clamp brackets cut out, and you should have a 3-inch dimension on both ends. And then on one side you should have 10 inches, and then on the other side you should have 12 inches. This is the orientation once we get them all glued up, and the 12-inch is going to be the top of the clamp bracket. What we're going to do right now is at the miter saw, we're going to take and cut a 2-degree edge on the top, on the 12-inch top side of the clamp bracket. This way, when you go to throw your clamps back on your brackets after you're done using them, that will automatically be sloped toward the wall. so the clamps won't have a tendency to fall off or to roll off. They'll have a tendency to go back toward the wall and keep them in the actual bracket. So let's go ahead and cut the 2-degree end on the 12-inch side. Here you'll see that I've got the miter saw set up to 2 degrees, which is plenty of an angle for the tops of the bracket. And here I'm just cutting the first one and making sure that I've got the board oriented so that 2-degree angle is against the back of the bracket. And then I've went ahead and set up all the other boards in that same orientation, and then I can go ahead and rip all the cuts at the 2-degree angle on all the boards. So I decided to go with 2 different widths of clamp brackets, a 1-inch and a 1.5 inch. And that's all I'm doing here is I'm just ripping the backs, and I'm ripping them at 1 inch and 1.5 inch. So here at the miter saw, I've set up a stop. I think it's a little less than 10 inches since we cut our backs at a 2-degree angle. And I'm just cutting all the backs, the 1 inch and the 1.5 inch strips down to length. Next, I'm going to rip down the bracket cleats down to 2 inches here at the table saw. The wall cleat, I'm going to leave at 4 inches. Okay, I think we're finally done cutting everything. I wanted to give you one more pro tip. When you cut the tops of your brackets at a 2-degree angle, whatever you do, don't forget to adjust your miter saw back to 0 and don't leave it at 2 degrees, because I made some cuts at 2 degrees before figuring out it wasn't at 0. So what I've done here is I went ahead and just glued up one mock-up, and this is basically what the clamp bracket is going to look like. It has a 1.5 inch spline, and then it has an opposing wall cleat, and then a spacer down here at the bottom. The spacer just causes it to sit off the wall flush, otherwise it would tilt down like this. And then with it sitting flush against the wall, you have your 2-degree angle, which will allow your clamps to just gravitate toward the back of the wall and not slide out on you. And that's basically it. So I'm going to make 4 of these 1.5 inch brackets, and then I'm also going to make 4 1-inch brackets. So I'm going to use these for my bar clamps, and then the 1-inch brackets for my pipe clamps and F clamps. So what I've done is I've just cut out 2 splines. They're 10 inches long by 1.5 inch and 1 inch. Like I said, you can make them whatever widths you'd like to specialize for the clamps that you have. And then you've got your opposing wall cleats. I've got 4 of those for the 1.5 inch brackets, 4 of those for the 1-inch brackets, and then your spacers for the bottom. And I've got a total of 8, 4 for each. And that's it. And then I've got the wall cleat, which is a 4-inch wide cleat that's cut at 68 inches. Now yours may vary depending on your situation, but the spacing for my wall, 68 inches is what fits, because I've got some exposed conduit, some surface mounted conduit that this is going to go between. So this is 68 inches long by 4 inches wide. And then you can see the cleat here on the end, and then the opposing cleat on the actual bracket, and then it will just slide down, and that's basically how the clamp bracket will be mounted to the wall. And it's very versatile. You can slide it anywhere you want on the bracket. If you wanted to take all the clamps, you could take the whole bracket off, take it over to your workbench for a complex glue up, and then come back and put it on. So this is very versatile. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and start gluing up the 1.5 inch brackets and the 1-inch brackets, and I'll show you how I did that. So I decided I was going to stain this project, so I'm going to have to sand everything before the glue up. So I'm just going to take a pencil and put some squiggly lines on all the brackets just so I'll know what's been sanded and what hasn't. And then I'm just going to bust out the random orbital sander here and then just hit it with 150 grit and then 180 grit. And again, I was just trying to put some sort of smooth finish just so I can sand it. Again, this is just a shop project, and I'm not going to bore you with a lot of sanding video. Okay, so the first bracket is going to be one of the 1.5-inch brackets. I'm just going to run a bead of glue down the back of it and then take and glue it up to the side bracket. I'm going to use another 1.5-inch back just so I can glue it up easier. And then I'm going to take some 16 gauge 1.5-inch brads and fasten the back to the side. And then I'm going to repeat the process for the other side. And you'll notice too that the inside of the plywood has some knots on it, so I'm trying to orientate the board so the knots are on the inside of the bracket and not the outside of the bracket. And you'll also notice as I'm shooting these brads that the gun is perpendicular to the bracket. This way, if I have a blowout, it's going to be on the it's not going to be on the outside or inside of the back. Then I'm going to take the opposing French cleat and countersink some screws, glue it up, and then use some 1.5-inch torque screws to hold the opposing cleat to the bracket. This will just make it a little bit more stronger and sturdier. The glue's probably all you need, but I figured some torque screws couldn't hurt. And then I'm going to take the 3/4-inch spacer, glue it up on the bottom, and just tack it in with the same 16 gauge 1.5-inch brad nails, and then that's it. And then I'm going to repeat the process for the next 12 brackets. Now that all the brackets are assembled, I'm just going to use some Minwax, I think it's Special Walnut, and go ahead and stain the wall French cleat and then the actual brackets themselves. And like Mr. Miyagi, I'm just going to wax on, wax off. It's a pretty simple process. And I'm also going to apply a clear coat just to the outsides of the brackets, just to make them more durable. Okay, so here's the finished product. I've got everything stained and clear coated on the outside, and we're pretty much done with the brackets themselves. Now we need to move over to the wall and go ahead and lay out for the wall cleat installation. So here I'm just going to basically mark out with some painter's tape the location of my studs. This is a metal building, so I do have some internal studs at various locations, but they're not like a typical framed wall, so they are at different locations. So I just went ahead and marked them with painter's tape. Then I'm going to set a level up here and just strike a line of where I want the top of the wall French cleat to be, and then we'll get those mounted with some 2.5-inch torque screws and also some metal screws, because I am screwing into a couple of metal studs. With my wall French cleat on my outfeed table, I went ahead and marked out the location of the studs on the actual wall French cleat. And then I'm going to take my counter sink bit. I'm going to go ahead and punch out the whole locations of where I want the screws. And then I'm going to take my counter sink bit and drill those out. So I'll have the location of where the studs are and where I'm going to need to land all my screws to make sure that this thing gets fastened on the wall correctly. Okay, so now with the clamp rack done, it's time for us to get all these clamps up on the wall. Well, here's the completed project, and as you can see, I've went ahead and moved my drill press and bandsaw back in place, and the clamp rack literally takes up no space within the workshop. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. Thanks for building this wall rack system with us today. If you like this video and it helps you out in your project, then please hit that like button. If you like DIY projects, shop renovation, shop organization projects, then hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. We'd love to have you part of our YouTube family, and we'd really appreciate your support. I'll leave a link in the video description below to all the tools and equipment that we used on this project, and that's another way that you can support the channel at no cost to you. Well, I'm Rick with the Ingrain Workshop. We'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.